Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to add a very important resource to our deployment, the security group. So let's get started. So here we are on the documentation. As you can see, here is an illustration of the usage of a security group. Now, in this case, they've actually defined the ingress and egress in line, which is perfectly fine. Now you can specify them separately, as you can see by this note, as a security group rule resource, just like we did with a route resource. But this is perfectly fine. Now in your organization, you may find a benefit to adding separate resources, but in our case, this will work perfectly. So as you can see here, the egress actually allows egress to everything on any protocol. That's 0 to 0. And then the protocol is -1, which means UDP, TCP, ICMP, etc. Any protocol you need to use, -1 will cover it. Now, the ingress only allows port 443, but we actually want to allow everything. We're just going to ensure that we hard code this IP to our own IP so that we don't allow someone to compromise our instance. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, sometimes I might actually choose to just copy this and paste it into my IDE and then modify from there to simplify things. But since this documentation may have changed by the time you watch this, we're going to type it out manually. So let's go ahead and start that. We're going to add our resource like always, AWS Security Group, just like so. And let's just name that MTCSG for right now. We'll open and close those resource braces. We'll create a name. That's dev SG, sounds good to me. Now keep in mind, we don't need a tag here because the security groups actually have a name attribute. So there's no point in having to tag it. You of course could tag it for other organizational reasons, but as far as the name goes, this is perfectly fine. After that, we need to provide a description. Dev security group sounds great to me. We then need to provide a VPC ID, which we've used many times. I'm actually going to just scroll up, copy this, and paste it down here just like so. And then we need to provide our ingress and egress. So let's go ahead and add our ingress here from port. Make sure you have that underscore there, from port equals 0 to port equals 0. Protocol equals, in quotes here, -1. This is presented like a string. Terraform's not going to honor this negative right here, this dash. So make sure you specify this as a string. And then CIDR blocks equals. Now I'm just going to put in 0.0.0.0/0 because I don't want to show everyone my IP address. Make sure you only add your own IP address here so you can go to what's my IP or somewhere else to find your IP address. And then that will be something /32. That /32 indicates you want to use only this address. But again, I'm just going to put anything for right now, and I'll be sure to destroy my infrastructure that has this open port and replace it with my own later. Now, as you notice, this is CIDR blocks with an S, which indicates that it expects a list. Now, these brackets allow you to enter a list. So if you had multiple IPs, you could put a comma here and specify another one after that. But we only need one. All right, so our ingress is taken care of. Now let's set up our egress. I'm going to slide this down a little bit. There we go. Egress from port equals 0 to port equals 0. Protocol, once again, equals -1. And CIDR blocks, in this case, I'm going to allow whatever goes into this subnet to access anything. So you won't put your IP address here. You will make sure you allow it to access the open internet. All right, perfect. So that's all we need to do there. Let's run a Terraform FMT to clean that up. There we go, beautiful. Then let's go ahead and run a Terraform plan and make sure everything works out. Slide that up. Okay, one to add like we expected. Looks like everything looks good here from port 0, protocol -1 to port 0. Perfect. Let's go ahead and run that Terraform apply, auto approve. All right, all complete. Let's scroll over to our AWS console. I will click on Security Groups. Go ahead and refresh that page. Here is our dev SG. If I open that, click on Edit Inbound Rules, we can see all traffic is allowed on all protocols, all ports, custom source, and again, in my case, is 0.0.0.0/0. All right, perfect. So our security group is all good to go. Go ahead and mark this lesson complete. Come on back to the next one and let's continue the course.